On paper, Mercury's 600 horsepower Verado V12 is a technological marvel, while Yamaha's XTO 450 V8 stands as the workhorse trusted by seasoned captains. The shocking difference between these giants isn't just raw power, it's a clash of philosophies, complex innovation versus relentless simplicity. Yet behind the advertising, hidden costs and cascading failures threaten both legacies in ways most owners never see. What drove each brand to gamble everything on such different visions? And what price do boaters really pay? Carl Kiekhaefer's obsession with speed and endurance began long before Mercury Marine became a household name. In 1946, he bought a remote patch of Florida wilderness and named it Lake X. Here, engines ran day and night, sometimes for weeks, watched by armed guards and engineers with clipboards as propellers churned through endless water. Kiekhaefer demanded proof that his outboards could survive anything. In 1957, Mercury engineers piloted twin outboards for 50,000 miles non-stop at Lake X, breaking every endurance record in the book. The message was clear. Mercury would push boundaries, even if it meant risking everything on untested ideas. Kiekhaefer's approach was part science, part spectacle. He filed more than 200 patents, drove his team to exhaustion, and celebrated every breakthrough with the intensity of a race victory. Mercury's engines earned a reputation for raw power and relentless innovation, traits that drew both admiration and controversy, especially on the racing circuit. The company's DNA became defined by this relentless drive. Break it, rebuild it, make it faster. Across the Pacific, Junichi Kawakami shaped Yamaha with a different vision. As an engineer and musician, he believed in precision, discipline, and respect for the craft. When Yamaha Motor Company launched in 1955, the goal was never to dominate with brute force, but to build engines that could outlast the ocean itself. Each outboard was assembled with careful attention, every component tested for harmony and balance. The artisan ethos ran deep. Machines were meant to be partners, not just tools. Yamaha's rise was quieter but no less remarkable. Commercial fishermen in Southeast Asia and Australia began relying on Yamaha four-strokes for their ability to run thousands of hours with only basic maintenance. Stories circulated of engines surviving years of salt, sun, and storms, proof of a philosophy grounded in trust and endurance, not just innovation. The contrast between Kiekhaefer's Lake X and Kawakami's workshop reveals more than corporate rivalry. One side chased the future through risk and reinvention. The other perfected tradition through patience and craft. These philosophies became the core of each brand's identity, shaping every decision to follow. When Mercury and Yamaha engineers gather today, they inherit not just technology but a legacy. A set of values forged in the minds of two men who believe that how an engine is built matters as much as what it can do. Mercury's Verado V12 and Yamaha's XTO 450 represent two radically different answers to the same question. How do you move a 40-foot boat with authority, efficiency, and control? The differences begin at the heart of each engine. Mercury's Verado V12 is the world's first production V12 outboard, displacing 7.6 liters across 12 cylinders. It produces 600 horsepower and weighs in at around 1,260 pounds. Yamaha's XTO 450 V8, by contrast, relies on a naturally aspirated 5.6-liter V8, delivering 450 horsepower with a dry weight of about 985 pounds. Beneath the cowling, Mercury's V12 is defined by its complexity. It packs an automatic 2-speed transmission, an industry first for an outboard. At low speeds, the gearbox delivers torque for heavy loads and docking. At higher speeds, it shifts into a taller gear for fuel efficiency and cruising. This system is managed entirely by the engine's digital control module, requiring no input from the operator. In contrast, Yamaha's XTO uses a direct drive gearbox with no shifting. Power flows directly from the crankshaft to the propeller, favoring simplicity and fewer moving parts. Steering architecture is another point of divergence. The Verado V12 features a steerable lower unit, meaning the entire gearcase pivots beneath a stationary power head. This allows the engine to remain fixed while only the lower section turns, freeing up transom space and enabling tighter maneuvers. The steering is fully electric and integrated, with no hydraulic lines or external rams. Yamaha's XTO 450 V8, meanwhile, sticks with a more traditional approach. Its integrated electric steering moves the whole engine, not just the gearcase. Owners can also opt for hydraulic steering, a familiar system favored by many offshore operators for ease of service and repair. Noise and vibration levels reveal the impact of these engineering choices. Mercury's V12 operates up to 20% quieter at idle and 35% quieter at cruise compared to the XTO, according to industry tests. The XTO, while not as silent, is praised for its heavy-duty mounts and refined exhaust routing, which help reduce vibration at cruising speeds. Both engines are designed for luxury and endurance, but the service experience is shaped by their hardware. The V12's advanced systems require dealer networks and specialized diagnostics, while the XTO's mechanical layout allows for more hands-on maintenance and broader serviceability. These core differences set the stage for the real-world consequences that follow, from maintenance realities to ownership costs and reliability on open water. A single sensor buried deep inside the Mercury Verado V12's electronic network can bring a 40-foot yacht to a standstill. The system's backbone is a CAN bus network, hundreds of signals flashing between modules, sensors, and the engine control unit every second. When a steering position sensor loses its signal, the engine's digital brain reacts instantly. It triggers what Mercury calls guardian mode. Throttle drops, steering stiffens, and the boat limps along at idle speed, sometimes unable to turn at all. This isn't a rare glitch. In saltwater and high-vibration environments, up to 15% of early V12s reported sensor or connector failures within the first 100 hours. Moisture, corrosion, or a loose pin in the harness is all it takes. The CAN bus logic can't always tell the difference between a failing sensor and a corroded wire, so it errs on the side of caution, shutting down propulsion to protect the engine, but leaving the owner stranded and waiting for a tow. Diagnostics are locked behind proprietary software. Only a certified Mercury dealer, armed with an encrypted tablet, can clear the fault and restore full operation. Tim Reed, the V12 project's engineering lead, once warned in an internal memo that software integration errors could disable drive entirely. That risk is now standard reality for anyone running a V12 in harsh conditions. Every layer of innovation, steerable gearcase, electric steering, automatic transmission, is one more link in a chain where a single weak point can trigger a cascade of failure. For owners, the promise of digital precision comes with a new kind of vulnerability, a boat that can be sidelined by a sensor smaller than a coin. Public records show the first Mercury Verado V12 recall notices arriving by February 2021. Owners in Australia and the UK received letters warning of potential steering failures. An electronic sensor buried deep inside the system could lose its signal, cutting off control and triggering limp home mode. The problem wasn't just technical, it was personal. Reports began surfacing in boating forums and Coast Guard logs. Luxury yachts stranded offshore, families waiting hours for a tow, charter captains missing trips and losing thousands. One invoice from a Sydney marina listed a $9,200 repair for a sensor replacement and diagnostic reset. Another owner in Miami documented 47 days of downtime, with the boat immobilized while waiting for a certified Mercury technician to unlock the fault code. Dealer service calls climbed as owners discovered that even routine diagnostics required proprietary tablets and passwords. Independent mechanics were locked out, unable to clear alarms or source parts. For some, the promise of cutting-edge technology turned into a cycle of frustration and expense. The cost of a single electronic steering repair could exceed $15,000, not counting lost charters or storage fees. As press coverage intensified, Mercury issued firmware updates and mandatory dealer training, but the sense of vulnerability lingered. Owners began to question who truly controlled their boats. Was it the captain at the helm or the software buried inside the engine? The fallout rippled through the industry, with several boat builders quietly dropping the V12 from their lineups. For many, the lesson was clear. Innovation can inspire, but complexity comes with a price that isn't always paid in horsepower. Inside the Yamaha XTO 450 V8, endurance is engineered at the molecular level. The heart of this outboard is a 5.6-liter block, but what sets it apart isn't just displacement. It's the technology hidden in every moving part. Yamaha's direct injection system operates at pressures up to 2,900 PS1, atomizing fuel so finely that combustion stays clean and efficient even under heavy loads. This allows for a 12.3-to-1 compression ratio, remarkably high for a naturally aspirated marine engine, delivering more torque and power without straining the hardware. Durability is built into the cylinder walls themselves. Instead of traditional iron liners, the XTO uses plasma-fused technology, creating a sleeveless bore that's lighter, dissipates heat faster, and resists wear from thousands of hours at sea. The lifters are coated in diamond-like carbon, a material harder than steel, reducing friction and nearly eliminating cam wear. In field reports, technicians describe pulling down engines after 1,500 hours and finding lifters and bores with barely a trace of scoring. Every design choice in the XTO 450 V8 is aimed at outlasting salt, heat, and vibration. These materials and mechanical systems aren't just for show. They're the reason commercial operators trust the XTO for long-haul runs, and why maintenance intervals can stretch further than most rivals. While competitors chase digital breakthroughs, Yamaha's answer is mechanical resilience, proven not in the lab, but on the open water. Alaska's Inside Passage is no place for unproven machinery. Here, commercial captains depend on engines that run for thousands of hours without complaint. One such captain, running a twin Yamaha XTO 450 setup, logged over 2,200 hours in less than 3 years, fishing, hauling, and chasing weather across saltwater that chews through metal. His maintenance log reads like a checklist. Oil changes every 100 hours, gearcase service at 500, filters swapped on schedule. The engine's never missed a trip. He recalls only minor downtime for routine work, no major breakdowns, no catastrophic failures. Mechanics who pull down high-hour XTOs report cylinder bores with barely a hint of scoring and lifters that look new after 1,500 hours of pounding. Yet even this reputation for resilience has its limits. In 2019, a cluster of corrosion failures surfaced in high salinity regions, threatening Yamaha's hard-earned trust. Instead of a public recall, Yamaha quietly extended warranty coverage for affected owners. No press release, just a phone call or a dealer's nod. The fix involved new midsection castings and improved coatings, handled behind service bay doors. Most owners never saw a bill. The episode revealed a hidden reality. Even the most robust outboard can be humbled by salt and time, and the true cost of ownership sometimes depends on what's handled quietly, far from the showroom floor. Warranty terms may promise peace of mind, but the real proof comes from engines that keep working long after the brochures fade. A triple-engine setup with Mercury's Verado V12 outboards carries a 5-year ownership cost that routinely tops $60,000. Dealer invoices show why. Each V12 requires scheduled oil and filter changes at 100, 300, and 1,000 hours, with labor rates averaging $150 an hour and parts that are anything but generic. Gearcase oil can be swapped dockside, but the electric steering and digital controls demand proprietary diagnostics. Software access alone can add $250 to $450 per engine per year. When the system triggers a fault, owners face mandatory dealer visits. A single repair for an electronic steering failure, including parts and labor, often exceeds $7,000. Major service intervals, like the 1,000-hour mark, bring even steeper bills, especially if firmware updates or sensor replacements are needed. Unscheduled breakdowns, such as battery drain or CAN bus glitches, add thousands more. By the time the engines hit 1,500 hours, most high-use owners will have paid for at least 2 major repairs, each requiring dealer-only parts and tools. By comparison, Yamaha's XTO 450 V8 setup on the same triple configuration averages $42,000 to $46,000 over 5 years. The difference comes down to parts pricing, labor flexibility, and software. Routine oil and gear case changes are less expensive, and most shops, dealer or independent, can handle the work. The mechanical steering system is easier to service, and replacement parts are widely available. Corrosion repairs do happen, but Yamaha's silent warranty extensions have covered many cases, sparing owners the worst bills. Software updates are rare and typically only needed for major repairs. Owners who stick to the maintenance schedule, oil every 100 hours, gear case every 500, report fewer surprises and lower downtime. The numbers don't lie. For every $60,000 spent on a triple Mercury V12 install, a Yamaha XTO owner is out about $42,000. That gap isn't just about technology, it's about who controls the repair, how fast you're back on the water, and whether your wallet can handle the difference between a dealer's invoice and a mechanic's handshake. Boat builders today face a decision that goes beyond horsepower or badge. As digital steering and electronic control systems sweep through the industry, the question is no longer just about speed or reliability. It's about who gets to shape the future of marine power. High-end brands like Formula, Boston Whaler, and Regal have rewritten their lineups around Mercury's Verado V12, making digital steering and integrated joystick controls standard across flagship models. Formula's 500 SSC and Boston Whaler's 450 Realm now leave the factory with digital helm systems, promising fingertip control and seamless integration with navigation electronics. For these builders, the V12's software-driven approach isn't a gamble, it's a selling point. Press releases tout the safety and convenience of digital steering, and sales teams highlight the ease of docking a 40-foot boat with a joystick instead of a wheel. But the move isn't universal. Cabo Yachts, Yellowfin, and Ranger still anchor their offerings around Yamaha's XTO 450 V8, giving buyers the choice of mechanical or hydraulic steering. In these circles, reliability and service access matter more than digital flair. Yellowfin's 42 and Cabo's 44 Express keep mechanical steering as the default, with digital options available only by request. Product managers point to customer demand for systems that can be fixed anywhere, even in remote marinas where a laptop and factory password aren't always at hand. Regulatory bodies have yet to force the issue. A BYC's TE45 standard covers safety and redundancy for electronic controls, but there's no mandate for digital steering on recreational boats. In Europe, emissions and digitalization incentives nudge builders toward smarter, networked systems, but traditional setups remain legal and popular. The result is a divided market, where some builders chase the promise of automation while others double down on mechanical trust. Industry analysts warn that the real test will come as digital systems age, when software updates, cybersecurity, and parts scarcity collide with the realities of saltwater and time. For now, the rivalry between Mercury and Yamaha stands as a bellwether for the entire field. Innovation racing ahead, tradition holding the line, and every builder forced to choose which future they want to build. In 2021, Mercury issued a nationwide recall for the Verado V12 after steering sensor faults triggered engine shutdowns, highlighting the hidden risks of software-driven control. Meanwhile, field logs document Yamaha XTO 450 V8 engines surpassing 2,000 hours in commercial service, with the brand quietly extending corrosion warranties in 2019. 5-year cost of ownership figures show a $60,000 average for triple Verado V12 installations versus $42,000 for Yamaha XTO setups based on verified dealer invoices. Yet not all details are public. Proprietary diagnostic protocols and select warranty data remain restricted by both manufacturers. The evidence reveals a clear trade-off. Mercury's innovation delivers unmatched control but brings higher complexity and cost, while Yamaha's mechanical simplicity offers proven durability with less digital oversight. As digital steering and encrypted systems become industry standard, the question of repair freedom and long-term value remains unresolved. What's certain is that the future of marine power will be shaped as much by software policy as by horsepower and torque.